Newsreel, real news, real quick. New York Congressman George Santos orchestrated a 2017 credit card skimming operation in Seattle. A man who is convicted of the fraud and deported to Brazil, named Gustavo Trelha, said in a sworn declaration he provided to the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York on Wednesday. The prosecutors are investigating Santos over that and several other fraudulent schemes. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office invited former President Donald Trump to testify before a grand jury next week. Trump's lawyer didn't indicate whether Trump will testify, but said the proceeding is just another example of them weaponizing the justice system against Trump. Pope Francis said in several interviews on Friday and Thursday that Russia is not the only empire whose interests are driving the conflict in Ukraine. The Pope noted that it had grown into a world war where the great powers are all entangled. The Pope blames Russia, the United States, and China in particular. He acknowledged France has tried to negotiate an end to the war. President Joe Biden's budget proposal on Thursday adds $2.6 trillion of spending over the next 10 years, but has tax increases the president claims that would reduce the deficit by $3 trillion. Iran and Saudi Arabia agreed to restore diplomatic relations and open embassies in each other's countries, they announced on Friday morning at the conclusion of diplomatic talks in Beijing, which the Chinese government had led. Doctors in Washington, D.C. are treating Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell for a concussion after he fell Wednesday evening at a hotel there. China's National People's Congress unanimously voted to give Xi Jinping a third term as China's president Friday morning. Turkey will hold presidential and parliamentary elections on May 14th, the country's president Recep Tayyip Erdogan announced Friday morning. A letter claiming to come from the Scorpions faction of the Mexican Gulf drug cartel, blamed for abducting 4 Americans in Matamoros and killing 2 of them, condemned the violence and said the gang turned over to authorities its own members who are responsible. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis went to Iowa Friday to introduce himself to Republican voters, although he hasn't yet announced his run for the GOP presidential nomination in 2024. And finally, Robert Blake, the Emmy Award-winning actor for his role in Beretta, who later was acquitted of murdering his own wife, died at the age of 89 on Thursday. And that's the way the world is. See you next time.